so if you're experiencing problems of growing anything in your hydroponic system, it's probably due to germination. And so if you can't get your seeds to sprout, it can get very frustrating and disheartening. And so the one thing that we want to say is, number one thing that causes seeds not to germinate is going to be overwatering or underwatering. So to stop the overwatering, do not push your seeds into the rock wall, and this is just because people are doing it at different depths, and if you push your seed directly into the rock wall, that was going to cause the seed to be surrounded by water, and it's not going to have enough oxygen, and it's going to be oversaturated, and the seed is not going to sprout. And so if you just place it on top without pushing down, and then add water after, you're going to have a lot better success rate, and it's going to be a more consistent thing, because each time you push your seeds, it's going to be coming at different depths. So saying that is how you want to do it. You're going to put your grow plug in. I have bean seeds. They are a little bit bigger so you guys can see, and you're going to push them, or not push them, you're going to place them in the planting cup. And for your smaller seeds like your lettuce and your strawberries, you're going to want to make sure they're actually on the rock wall and you don't have little fibers supporting them up and they're not touching the rock wall. And so you might just want to kind of like pat them down there. And then after that, you're going to want to take your syringe that comes with your system, and then you're going to take some nutrients, water from your reservoir, and you're going to just fill up the syringe. And then once you've done that, you're going to just make sure that you wet your seeds. You don't want to soak them and douse them in water, but you want to make sure that they are wet and moist enough to germinate. And so you're going to put water on top, make sure water covers all parts of the seeds, a couple drops here and there, and then you're done, and you're going to put that in your system. You're going to wait a few days, so wait 2 to 3 days, and if none of the seeds are sprouting, then you're going to want to repeat the process and just put a few drops of water on the seeds, and you're going to wait, and then you're going to do this process at least 2 to 3 times. I wouldn't go over 3 times. And then if you're still not getting any seeds to germinate, you want to check the viability of your seeds. And so before we get into that, if you guys are growing your spinach seeds or seeds that have a hard shell, you're going to want to prime them first, and this is just going to allow them to soften and allow the water to get into them, because the harder shells, they do take a lot more water, as well as a little bit more time for the water to reach the seed and then be able to sprout. And so if you guys are dealing with your spinach, make sure you do prime it. And then after that, is the harder the seed, you want more water. The softer the seed, like your pepper plants and your lettuces, you can just put a drop or 2 on each seed. Okay, so if you guys are finding that doesn't matter what you guys think you're doing it properly, you're putting 2 to 3 seeds, you're putting water on it, and still nothing is germinating, the next thing is checking the viability of your seeds. And that's because seeds do have an expiration date, and seeds do go bad if they're stored improperly, if they're stored in direct sun, if they're stored at too hot of temperatures. And so to see if your seeds are viable, you're going to do what we call it a paper towel test, and that is you're going to take a damp paper towel, and you're going to put 10 seeds on the paper towel, put it in a Ziploc, mark the date, and put it in a dry, covered, dark, dry place that is going to be room temperature. So you want the temperature to be between 18 degrees and 26 degrees. No colder, or it's going to affect the germination rate. No higher, or again, your seeds aren't going to germinate. So room temperature does have a big, our temperature does have a big thing in the germination. And so if you do that, wait 7 days, and still you might have 2 seeds that are germinating, your seeds have gone bad, and that means that you need new seeds. And so because seeds, they last normally 2 to 3 years max, and then after that the germination rate decreases drastically. 1 year you're going to have the highest germination rate, between 99 to 80% germination rate, and so as it ages, it's just going to decrease to 80, 70, 60, and pretty soon they're not going to germinate at all. And so if you do have a low germination rate, just make sure you get seeds, and that's why we encourage people to just buy seeds in smaller batches and not just stock up and be like, oh, I'm going to be good for years and years, because they do have an expiry date. And so the fresher you get your seeds, the easier they are to germinate. And And so yeah, thank you so much, and I hope this helped.